On December 7, 2012 to Sirian, the Lion's motherships and a destroyer arrived in Sol Sphere and took up the position just outside the asteroid belt, safe from detection on Earth. On December 18, 2012 Sirian, the Lion's transport ships and motherships joined up with the three crafts already there. The transports hold some 800,000 Syrians. The four motherships and the destroyer represent a significant military presence. Their intent is unknown. On April 2, 2013, the game, followed on April 15, 2013 by a television series, both named Defiance, which depicts the post-extraterrestrial encounter world in which the terrestrials and extraterrestrials must learn to live together on a new Earth. One might think there is no relation, but there may be. There are some interesting synchronicities occurring here. Several species of the Votans also seem to be members of what can be called the Sirian, the Lions, a collective of extraterrestrial species with a long history of involvement with Earth. The Syfy, Defiance TV series Castipan, star, Sirius, Castipan, or Casti for short, appear very similar to humans. Their coloration is very pale, with pale white skin and white hair. Castipan society is aristocratic and hierarchical, and the other Votan races view them as arrogant. The Castipans used to have a patriarchal, rigidly segregated society on their home planet based on castes. Syrians come in a variety of colors, from pale white to quite black, and are often referred to as tall whites or Nordics. The Sirian star is an A0, making it a rather bright white star. The tilt of their home world provides an area that is in constant twilight. This creates a wide variety in color. Irate giants, The irate giants, or irates for short, appear very close to human. Their coloration is more similar to humans than the pale Castipans, with bronze skin with patterns of white. The AG1 star, orange, yellow and slightly brighter than Earth's G2. Indogene star, Gamma Lepiris, the most technologically advanced Votan race. They have bright white skin and no visible hair follicles. Their heads are hairless and smooth. Their external ears don't really protrude, smoothly merging with the rest of the head. Classic descriptions for the Orion Great Gamma Lepiris is a F6 star. The first non-terrestrials to appear in terrestrial human history traveled from the area of the star Sirius. Earth is some 8+ light years distant, making it close enough for exploration with primitive starships, and Sol is one of only 6 nearby stars. Sirian appearance is much like terrestrial humans. They are one of the species referred to as Nordic. Their biology and genetics is also very much like terrestrials, so much so that they can successfully hybridize with terrestrials. The Syrians arrived at Earth some 6,000, 8,000 years ago. At that time their technology was primitive mechanical RTL. with a trip of light years taking several weeks. Atmospheric operations were conducted with chemical-powered fueled low-orbit craft. It is upon these Syrians that much of early terrestrial human myth, legend, and religion is based. The goals of these Syrians was colonization, and colonies were established in 3 regions: India, Indus Valley, Sumeria, Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and Egypt, Nile River Basin, with later satellites in China and the Americas. These colonies flourished for several hundred years, and then began to fall into disarray. As is all too frequently the case with far-reaching colonies, the colonists grew tired of the lack of autonomy, inadequate and unreliable support and contact with the home world, and inadequate representation at the highest levels of government. The result was civil war, and, while it could be argued that the colonists won, the result was the colonies being completely cut off from their home world, and placed in a sort of siege state for several Syrian generations, about 5,100 years. The final result was the colonies dying out, and the Syrian population merging, for the most part, with the indigenous terrestrial human population. Those persistent few, having failed to preserve their culture, consolidated the remaining families, and dispersed throughout the world. Evidence of this can be seen in the myths and legends of virtually all terrestrial human microcultures, right up to the modern day circa 2012 Illuminati and elites. Many of the stories about these elites colluding with major government are fundamentally true. The remaining Syrian families have no choice but to attempt to control the terrestrial human population. Government and religion are 2 of the simplest and most effective methods to gain and keep the kind of control required. These elites were few in number, and over the past 51-24 years have only succeeded in reducing their numbers and in breeding themselves out of a viable gene pool. They are a species in and of themselves, an evolutionary branch of the original Syrian genome that can look forward to no future unless they release control of the Earth and join the rest of the interstellar humanity. Nephilim 51-24 years ago, early terrestrial humans chased those Syrians who would, or could, from the Earth, and in that very act may have given the Earth to the Syrian/the right and alliance for all time. When the Syrians left, tens of thousands remained. Most vanished into the indigenous human population, creating the kind of hybrid human, neither Syrian nor terrestrial, but as unique to Earth as terrestrial humans. These hybrid terrestrials are a natural extension of the Syrian genome, and thus, in a sort of twisted way, Syrian. Today Nephilim are your friends and neighbors, perhaps even you. Nephilim comprise up to 40% or more of Earth's human population. It is virtually impossible to distinguish between a terrestrial human and a Syrian/terrestrial hybrid human.